All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're tackling New York City. I mean, what a place, right? It's this city that millions of people dream about, but it's also a city that asks for, well, a lot. So let's get into it. What's the real story behind the Big Apple?
You really can't talk about New York without talking about this massive contrast. On one side, you've got the dream, that iconic, powerful feeling of ambition and opportunity just buzzing in the air. But then there's the grit, the part that's crowded, ridiculously expensive, sometimes dirty, just a real hassle. So the big question is, how do these two things even exist in the same place?
So to really get a handle on the New York of today, we've got to rewind a bit. We're going to look at its wild journey. I mean, how does a little trading post blow up into this global giant where people living there genuinely feel like they're at the center of the entire universe?
And look at this timeline. It's not just the events, it's how fast it all happened. It's just boom, boom, boom. It starts as this Dutch trading post, New Amsterdam, way back in 1624. Then, bam, it's the first capital of the United States. Then you get the Statue of Liberty, this global symbol of hope. By 1925, it's the biggest city on the planet. And then, to top it all off, the UN plants its headquarters there. It's a story of just nonstop, pedal-to-the-metal growth.
And all that growth leads us right here. Just look at that number. 8.8 million people inside the city itself. And if you zoom out to the whole metro area, you're talking 20 million. That makes it by far the most packed city in the US. It's just an incredible amount of people all living together on these little islands.
And that density, well, that's where the power comes from. Think about it. This is the home of Wall Street, the NYC, NASDAQ. The average salary in finance is a mind-boggling $422,000 a year. It's got Central Park, the most visited urban park in the whole country. We're talking 42 million people a year. And get this, in 2021, it had more billionaires, 99 of them, than any other city in the entire world. It's literally the cultural and financial capital of the Western world.
And this quote from a resident, it just nails it. It really gets to the heart of the payoff. It's not just about the money or the museums. It's this feeling, this powerful electric feeling that you are smack dab in the middle of everything.
Okay, but that feeling of being at the center of the universe, it's going to cost you. And I mean, it's going to cost you a lot. So let's flip the coin and look at the other side. The daily realities of actually living the dream. And the first thing that hits you, the biggest hurdle, is rent. I mean, just look at these numbers. The average rent in Manhattan is, wait for it, $4,200 a month. And that's not even the high end. You can see how it stacks up against Brooklyn, and then look at Chicago, it's almost double. That is an insane financial mountain to climb every single month.
And it doesn't stop with rent, not by a long shot. Okay, so you find an apartment. In Manhattan, you're lucky if it's 700 square feet. You want to own a car? Good luck. Parking in a garage can set you back $550 a month. Just driving into Manhattan? That'll be $16, please. Oh, and make one little mistake parking on the street? Bam, $120 ticket. It just adds up and up and up.
In this quote, this one really tells the whole story. You've got a couple, both working in high-paying jobs, tech and finance, and they call their $2,500 a month fifth-floor walk-up pretty inexpensive. I mean, let that sink in. That just shows you the kind of compromises you have to make, even when you're making good money.
So, beyond just the money, you've got what locals call the hassle factor, and it's a real thing. It's the little stuff, like garbage bags piled up on the sidewalk, or scaffolding that seems to be on every single building. But it's also the much bigger, more serious stuff. You've got a large homeless population, an estimated 91,000 people, and there's been a recent surge in crime. I mean, shootings in Times Square. The subway system has serious safety concerns, too. It's a lot to deal with, day in and day out.
So you might be thinking, with all of that, the cost, the hassle, why on earth would millions of people choose to live there? Well, the answer, for so many, comes down to one thing: the people. It's this incredible, vibrant mix of cultures, all living together.
And this number just blows my mind. 3.2 million. That's how many New Yorkers were born outside of the United States. That makes it home to the largest foreign-born population of any city on Earth. It's not just a melting pot, it's a true global crossroads.
And because of that diversity, you get these neighborhoods with such powerful, distinct identities. Take Harlem, for instance. It's this incredible center for African-American heritage, famous for its jazz clubs, amazing soul food, and of course, the legendary Apollo Theater.
Then hop on the subway and you can find yourself in a totally different world, like Borough Park in Brooklyn. It's this really tight-knit Orthodox Jewish community where the fertility rate is actually 6.5 children per woman. Here, tradition is just everything, and it creates this unique community completely its own, right inside the bigger city.
Or you could head over to Brighton Beach, also in Brooklyn. It's been a hub for a Russian-speaking community since the 70s. You can walk the boardwalk and feel like you're a world away. And that's the magic of it, right? You really can travel the world just by swiping your Metro card.
And this photographer's quote really says it all. The whole world lives here. When you can't travel, you just step outside your door in New York and you meet people from everywhere. For so many residents, this isn't just some nice little bonus. It's the whole reason they're there.
Which brings us right back to where we started. The thing about New York is its greatness isn't in spite of all the challenges. No, the city's real identity is actually forged in that constant push and pull, that tension between the dream and the grit.
And one of the biggest forces stirring that pot is gentrification. You hear that word a lot, but what does it really mean on the ground? It's the process where wealthier people move into a poorer neighborhood, and that changes everything. It often ends up pushing out the people who have lived there for generations. It's this really complex, sometimes painful process that reshapes a neighborhood's character. It's basically the dream versus grit battle playing out, one city block at a time.
And what you end up with is a city of just wild contrasts. You've got $2 hot dog stands right next to Tiffany's, you've got the super rich walking the exact same streets as people who are homeless, and it's that constant collision of extremes that creates that energy, that buzz that New York is so famous for.
And all of this leads right to that famous saying, the city's unofficial motto, if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. And what that really means is, to even survive here, let alone succeed, you've got to be tough. You need a certain kind of resilience. But the promise is, if you've got that grit, the rewards are like nothing else on earth.
So it all comes down to this one question, doesn't it? What is the true price of a dream? New York makes every single person who lives there answer that for themselves. You're constantly weighing the hassle against the opportunity, the grit against the dream, and for those 8.8 million people who call it home, the answer seems to be clear. It's worth it.